The 2025 season has been absolutely electrifying when it comes to following Liverpool's behind-the-scenes moves, especially considering the bold decisions the club has made recently in the transfer market. Under the leadership of manager Arne Slot, the Reds have shaken the foundations of European football in a way nobody, absolutely nobody, saw coming. And now, as we watch the unfolding of this daring strategy, an intriguing possibility has emerged, leaving everyone stunned. Could Liverpool actually recover the monumental investment they made in Florian Wirtz? The question echoing through the corridors of Anfield is it really worth diving into such a risky financial operation? Let's quickly revisit what happened and why it was so astonishing. When Liverpool decided to go all in for Florian Wirtz, practically everyone in the football world was left open-mouthed. The young German was considered one of the most coveted gems in the international market, fiercely pursued by Europe's giants. The widespread expectation was that Wirtz would be wearing the shirt of the mighty Bayern Munich, continuing that German tradition in which the country's best talents end up at the Bavarian club. And if, for some unexpected reason, that deal fell through, Manchester City were waiting in the shadows, ready to open their wallet and make an absolutely irresistible offer to bring the star to the Etihad Stadium. But Liverpool? Well, nobody believed the Reds were even part of this multi-million race for the Bayer Leverkusen prodigy. The twist was nothing short of spectacular, worthy of a blockbuster film. Against all predictions and the analyses of the most respected experts, Liverpool not only entered the race but managed to convince Wirtz that Anfield was the perfect destination for his career. Just imagine the scene, the club's representatives showing the German the glorious history of the Reds, the unmatched atmosphere of the stadium, the ambitious project led by Arne Slot, and somehow planting that tiny seed of desire in the player's heart. The result? Wirtz chose the red of Merseyside, leaving Bayern Munich empty-handed and perfectly timed, with Manchester City stepping back from the negotiation for their own reasons. It was a diplomatic and sporting victory of enormous proportions. But here comes the part that truly makes the eyes widen when we talk about numbers. The investment was colossal, gigantic, historic by Liverpool's standards. We are talking about a transfer that reached the impressive figure of £100 million guaranteed, with the very real possibility of rising to £117 million if all add-ons and performance bonuses are met throughout the contract. To put that in proper perspective, this was the very first time in Liverpool Football Club's long history that the club spent a nine-figure sum on a single player. It is literally unprecedented and represents a radical shift in the club's investment philosophy, even considering that the later deal involving Alexander Isak somewhat overshadowed this historic Wirtz transfer. But there's no denying it, it was a monumental financial gamble, a giant leap into the unknown that showcased the Reds' renewed ambition. And now we reach the most intriguing and controversial point of the entire story. Should Liverpool seriously consider recovering all that massive investment through an equally bold move? The opportunity is knocking firmly at the door. According to information published by the respected newspaper The Paper, there is substantial and concrete interest in Mohamed Salah coming from Saudi football for a potential transfer during the January window. Sources indicate that clubs in Saudi Arabia would be willing to negotiate a so-called reduced price, although that expression is very relative compared with the staggering £200 million offer they made back in 2023, one Liverpool categorically refused.
Salah's contract situation adds fascinating layers of complexity to this equation. The Egyptian star will still have one full year remaining after the end of the current season, which theoretically places Liverpool in a strong negotiating position. The Reds absolutely do not need to sell their top goalscorer due to financial pressure or contractual urgency. The strategic question making everyone scratch their heads is, would Liverpool prefer to accept a sizable offer now, ensuring a substantial financial return, or would it be smarter to keep Salah and squeeze every drop of quality from him during the remainder of his contract? It's one of those decisions that could shape the club's direction for years to come. There is definitely a logical argument in favour of selling Salah right at this moment. This season has turned into an unplanned transitional phase for Liverpool, even though that wasn't the initial intention when Arne Slot took charge. If the Reds are truly not competing for the biggest trophies this season, then the real value of keeping Salah becomes a legitimate question. From that pragmatic standpoint, it would make perfect sense to sell him now, pocket an impressive amount of fresh cash, and use those funds to fine-tune the ongoing rebuild process. On paper, in theory, it looks absolutely ideal and difficult to argue against. And it's worth noting that this decision would become almost automatic if Salah himself expressed a desire to leave and seek new challenges. On the other hand, and here things become genuinely complicated, we are talking about Mohamed Salah. He is not just any player or simply another name on the squad list. He is one of the greatest idols in the club's modern history, a man who has broken countless records wearing the red shirt. And there's a crucial detail that cannot be ignored. Nobody in the current squad is performing at a truly convincing level this season. There is a widespread feeling, almost a consensus among more measured analysts, that no player should be definitively judged based on this campaign, because once Arne Slot's tactical system finally clicks and functions smoothly with this particular group, everyone is expected to improve dramatically. And that includes Salah returning to the spectacular form we saw last season, when he was simply dazzling. The crucial question keeping the board awake at night is, does Liverpool genuinely believe this collective resurgence can happen? If the honest answer is no, if there is real skepticism about the squad's ability to rebound, then selling Salah specifically to recover the astronomical investment made in Florian Wirtz starts to make more and more strategic sense. Such a move would offer tremendous financial flexibility to continue strengthening the squad in other weak areas, while also enabling a full and deep rebuild of the attacking structure, now built around the emerging German star as the new centerpiece. It's undeniable that this possibility will tempt Liverpool's hierarchy, especially those thinking long-term. But here comes the big however, the detail that could change everything. This only makes genuine financial sense if we are talking about an offer in the region of £100 million or somewhere close. If the offer comes significantly below that, if the Saudis try to haggle too much due to the contract situation, then Liverpool would definitely be better off betting everything on Salah returning to top form during the remainder of his contract. After all, a motivated, high-performing Salah can still win crucial matches, still carry the team on his back during decisive moments, and that has an immeasurable value that goes far beyond any spreadsheet. The dilemma is firmly on Arne Slot's table, and whichever decision is made will have profound consequences for Liverpool's immediate and medium-term future.